how are you? Hopefully I'm in frame in this video because I don't really feel like filming it again. My house is a disaster of Legos and dirty laundry and magic tracks right now. It's summer break and I just don't want to clean it. I'm gonna have to eventually, but I have been procrastinating by making several videos for you all to enjoy as the summer moves forward. I don't know, is it actually summer yet? It sure feels like it because it is hot and humid here. But nonetheless, I saw a question come up in one of my, I think it was the Discord group that I'm in, about in-cage enrichment. And I thought, this is one of my favorite things. I love making videos about in-cage enrichment. It's actually a major thing that I do on my channel. I have many cage tours, from the Critter Nation cage to bin cages. I even have a couple of layouts for guinea pig cages, that sort of thing. So clearly this is my forte, and I have reached a new level in my YouTube life where I actually had enough clips of my own rats to film the whole thing and put it all together, and it's quite exciting. So without further ado, let me get into all of that. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. So the first thing we're going to discuss is climbing. I like to put lots of different kinds, like these IKEA scarf holders, to this DIY version that I made for Valentine's Day with grapevine decor. This one is made from bangle bracelets. And you'll also note that I use this ladder and other ladders a lot. And you'll also notice as I go through the video that some of these things are in multiple sections because they fulfill multiple types of enrichment. So here's Caramel being all cute and climbing on the ladder and trying to figure out the bangle bracelets. And that leads us to some other options like perches. Thanks, Caramel. You'll see a perch here as well as the same ladder in a different cage layout. You'll also see a perch in the bottom corner and one further up. I use these to help the rats get from one place to another. And there's three in this picture. These perches lead up to bird branches, which are another great option. And the ladder again. Here's the one perch in a slightly different area on the door. This is actually the biggest category, I think, because there's just so many things in it that I use for climbing. Here's a rope I braided to go across the cage. You'll see that I made it go all the way across, and yes, my rats did actually climb on this, which I was skeptical, but they did. We've also got some ropes in a bin cage here, and I actually used these with Fudge and Company for their bin cage layout. It's in a previous video. And there's also perches as well, giving them multiple options for things to climb on. Here's a popsicle stick ladder bridge that I made, which the boys actually really enjoy. And in this one, you can see the branches as well as a bird ladder that's hanging sideways for them to climb on. They do that all the time. Next, we have lava ledges. I have a couple of these. They're not my favorite because they break easily, but the rats do love to chew on them, as you can see, and they do help wear nails down a little bit. Here's some of my previous mischief, showing you how they use them to navigate the cage. Boop, 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 boop. I just thought that clip was really cute because you get to see them run around. So here we have foraging, and some of these are toys and some of these are ways that I allow my rats to forage. So this one uses little flower pots and some wooden beads, and it's not tight, so the rats can push the flower pots up and take things out. There was actually Cheerios in this at the time when I filmed it. I need to put this back in the cage actually. And then we've got a couple of toys that I ordered off of Chewy from Exotic Nutrition. This one is actually made for sugar gliders, but a lot of rat owners have it and really like it, and I'm excited to put it in the cage. They have to move these little flaps to get the food out of the piece of pipe. And it was really hard to film this with one hand, honestly. I just had a lot of trouble moving things. Okay, this one, I'm not sure it counts as foraging, but it's like a stick for birds that you're supposed to put things on and then they have to work to get them off. I use it a lot for fruit. And and I find that it really gives my boys a good workout. This bird toy is also an Exotic Nutrition brand, and it's these little cups that slide up and down on this chain and have little flaps on top as well. Once again, I haven't put this in the cage just yet. I am planning to. That will be in an upcoming video. The next thing is just allowing your rats to dig and forage. In this clip, you're gonna see Caramel digging under another type of toy. You can see he's really getting into it. And he's continuing to dig pretty deep under there. You'll see that he almost completely puts his whole body under, and then he comes out for that one piece of oxbow. That's what he wanted. This is a foraging wheel, which is another way that they can get their food. And this toy, I don't put it in the cage often, but you could. They have to move those little things over. This is a cat treat ball. You can see I've used this with my rats before. I actually have a previous video I'll put in the cards about traveling enrichment, and the rats tried to chew the holes a little bigger because they were cheating. But it still works completely fine, and there's 2 different size holes that you can open it to, either open just part of it or all of it, and they have to work to get their food or treats out. So I'm just showing you the holes there. Here's Fudge eating a noodle. Dried pasta or other things can be great foraging enrichment. You see him enjoying his noodle right here. And burying things in the bedding is a great way to get them to actually look for their food and find it in a way that's fun for them. So there's Sprinkles looking around. Here's Sprinkles foraging in a different clip. And pay no attention to the mischief going on in the corner. Instead, focus on Sprinkles. You see him digging a little bit, and he finds a little piece of food that he wants to eat and just has a little snack. Here's another clip of that, and Fudge doing the same thing. So the next category is sleeping, and I try to put 1 sleep space per rat plus 1 more. This layout I went a little crazy. So we're going to count the number of sleeping places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sleep spaces in that one layout for 4 rats. I went a little crazy. So this category is inside places to sleep. So here they're sleeping inside a hide. In this clip, they're inside a tunnel hammock. In this one, they're inside a box. These were babies, so they were tiny. Inside a double hammock. This category is on top of. Here they're sleeping mostly on top of flat hammocks in this video clip. This one's inside of a bucket on a flat hammock. I count this as on top of because the basket's open. On top of a really big hammock. On top of blankets inside a basket. Another flat hammock, all snuggle-bugged up. And I just had to throw this one in there on top of fleece. This category is under things. Hides work great for this. So here's a tree trunk hide. This is one of my bucket hides. I'll put a little link to that. Bowl bucket. This is a toddler toy, but they do sleep in these as well. This is a little house. So next we're going to talk about hammocks. I do not have some of the most popular ones, but I do have flat hammocks, and I also have double hammocks, or bunk beds I think they're sometimes called. I have somewhere a triple hammock. This is a pocket hammock. I think that's what that one's called. More flat hammocks. That's actually my favorite print, and I can't find it anymore. And then I've got the flat cotton flannel hammocks. This category is toys, and I find my boys sleeping in these often. This one not so much, but it's just a little ball ramp. This one's a barn, and we've got a, what do we even call this? That's for a Mega Bloks toy. It's a boat. That's what it is. The castle for the little Fisher-Price people. This is an 18-inch doll bunk bed, and I haven't used this with my current Mischief because the little cushions are kind of dumb and they fall between the slats. I want to make new ones that aren't cushiony. That's a mailbox. All of my boys fight over the mailbox every time I put it in. The Batman tunnel. I think that went to a train set. All right, litter boxes, a bathroom, and a bed. What could be better? That one is a trimmed down storage container that I was using. These are my typical litter boxes that I have video tutorial on how to make. Here you see Fred sleeping like he's dead in a litter box. That one had paper. I don't recommend paper as a litter box. Oh, look at baby Fred. Okay, now we have objects that they can climb through. These are things like tunnels, hides, and other toys. So we've got a bendy tunnel. We've got the same bendy tunnel in the bottom of the cage. We have the Batman tunnel, which they can climb through as well. It has multiple openings, as you can see. Here's the mailbox again. That's a crappy photo. Same little barn has multiple ways to climb through it. Here's the same tunnel, but a blue one strapped to the top of the cage. And then here it is again, strapped to the top of the cage. The next category that we're going to talk about is chewing and floor toys. These can be hanging, sitting, whatever. So we've got some toddler baby toy items, some DIY chew toys. I use these a lot. I use different textures, as you can see in the beads and the willow balls, because I want them to be interested. Oh, these applewood sticks, clearly they love, and they really like that odd shaped geometric bead. I need to get some more of those. They were really nice. But I didn't have very many when I made those chew toys. This is another baby toy. I don't really see them play with that much, but it is something they run around on. Fudge actually loves the chew toys more than any rat I've ever had. You can see him just going crazy on this one. It has gotten quite a bit of use, thanks to sweet little Fudge. He actually ran around the entire cage the one day and literally chewed on every single chew toy, just a little bit, to make sure that they were all to his liking. And I think that's when he decided this was his favorite. They really love chewing around the different shapes, and the applewood sticks are like the only KT product I've ever purchased anymore. These are little cat toys and shape sorters. My boys absolutely love to play with these. And this one is a wiffle ball from the dollar store. These are made from cork and wooden beads and pipe cleaners. You've seen them in a video. This one's pasta and wooden beads. All right, nesting, shredding, gathering, nest building. Here we've got packing paper, and they like to shred that and stuff it in other things. As you can see here, they shoved it in the watering can hide, and that was great fun. Toilet paper, great cheap rat enrichment. Just hang it up and look at the nests they can build. They can do so much with something so inexpensive. Pro tip, get the single ply. It lasts longer and is cheaper. Next, we've got these tissue paper decorations from the dollar store. And then we've got a nest built in a hammock with cardboard boxes and toilet paper, and you can see that they've strewn it everywhere.
Hey Caramel, you making a nest? What's it doing?
Here you can see they've built a rather elaborate nest in a hide as well. And here's the fruits of one of Caramel's nest building behavior. So here we're going to talk about running, wheels, and floor space. So you'll see in these layout pictures that there's a lot of floor space that's open. I like to give my boys room to move and wrestle and play and gather things. I really feel that's important, and it's often overlooked in the rat community. You'll see that in several pictures here. I do occasionally put tunnels on the floor though. You see the difference? So you want a wheel that your rat can run on with its back straight. smaller wheels don't allow that unless the rat is really small as well. Now, the problem is wheels are also extremely expensive. So you do not have to get a wheel for your rat. It is not a requirement. It is not a necessity. If they enjoy them, sure, get a wheel for your rat. But it is an extremely expensive thing to get, and if they get enough exercise in other ways, a wheel is not necessary. So this is my other wheel. It is a 12-inch and it really is too small. However, for some reason, my rats prefer the way this one works to the metal one. I don't know if it runs smoother or the plastic feels better or what exactly. So I only use this when they're small enough to fit in it. You can see Poochie was a little bit big for this at the time, but he really loved having a wheel. So I did alternate between this one and the metal one once I got both. So like I said, you do not have to have a wheel. It's not a requirement, but if you are gonna have one, make sure it's big enough for your rats. I do use the blue one when my rats are babies, and I switch to the metal one when they're bigger. Obviously, I can't film everything in this video, but if you have some suggestions for other in-cage enrichment, please leave that in the comments below. Thanks for watching.